David, thanks for being back with us 2 days in a row now.
Yeah.
Yesterday we just got done talking about the possibility that real change can come out of this whole series. So let's talk about Congress in particular here. They have pledged to hold hearings on the things that you have uncovered through this. What is the latest with that?
Well, we just did get word that the House Financial Services Committee in Washington, D.C., that they are gathering stories from people in Dallas who've been affected by redlining practices. And on Friday, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson, who represents much of southern Dallas, as you know, she sent a letter to stakeholders that she plans to host a congressional roundtable, and we're told that could happen just early this month, early next month in July. And so that is a significant update.
That is a biggie right there. That is something that could bring about some big change, like we were talking about the possibilities of that yesterday. And you've been bringing these problems to the forefront, you and your team who've been working on this series. I want to ask you about, not Congress this time, but about regulators, because there's a whole bureaucracy out there. Regulators haven't exactly been stopping these practices as they've been going on here. And I'm curious, you know that the news trickles out about the pieces that you're doing here. The whole industry knows about this. Have you gotten the sense that these pieces have affected the regulators?
Yeah, I think you can start to sense that they're hearing about they're paying attention to what we're doing, and there are these pressure points that are being applied right now. So after we did our stories, this nonprofit in Dallas called Southern Dallas Progress, they filed complaints against banking, with banking regulators against 2 banks. They allege that these banks were underserving the minority community in southern Dallas. And the FDIC, who they complained to, they agreed. So both of these banks have expansion plans in the Dallas area, and they've pledged to the FDIC that they will increase their lending as a condition of having these plans approved. We also know there are other banks who are in these same kinds of conversations right now. So it's sort of one bank at a time. But if the community gets involved and makes a complaint, there is a process to increase the lending at that moment where the pressure is. Bank says, we want to expand. Regulators say, you got to take care of this first.
And it's an interesting thing too. I think a lot of people think, it doesn't do any good if I make complaints, but it actually does some good.
It does. Complaints make a big difference. A lot of people don't do that, but when you file a complaint with the bank saying, hey, we feel we've been mistreated in such and such a way, particularly if you've got data, that gets filed. The regulators see that too. They have to turn that over to the regulators when they get their bank exam. So communication makes a big difference here, and we want to raise awareness of this ability to do it so that people will do it. And if they feel like they've been wrong, they should say something.
Well, I'll say it again, just like I said it yesterday. Kudos to you and the whole team that's been putting these things together, and we look forward to the next installments because we know that there will be more.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, David.